I'm currently employed by Oriental Trading Company, and they just announced that they were putting themselves up for sale. I was just wondering if Berkshire would have any interest in a company like Oriental Trading Company as an acquisition.
Yeah, that's interesting, Ed. I didn't know they'd put themselves up for sale, but I looked at it whenever it was 4 or 5 years ago when Terry Watanabe sold it. And I haven't really followed it since then, but just from listening to what you say, and I have no knowledge of it at all, but it sounds to me as if some private group bought it and now they're reselling it. And we get approached on that sort of thing all the time, where a financial group has bought the business and then wants to resell it fairly quickly, and they almost invariably, I would say, auction the business. They seek what they call a strategic buyer. A strategic buyer is some guy that pays too much because, and he wants to justify it, so he says it's strategic. I mean, I have never understood being a strategic buyer. Every time somebody calls me up and says, we think maybe you're the logical strategic buyer for that, I hang up faster than Charlie would. I'm not talking to the specifics of this one at all because I really don't know on Oriental Trading. But the idea that we're going to find a business to buy from some guy who from the moment he bought it a few years ago has been thinking, how do I get out of this thing? What do I do to make it have those figures for a couple of years, look a certain way so that I can get the maximum amount in a couple of years? That we're just not going to make any attractive buys there. We won't trust the figures. What we like is a business where the guy before was running with the idea of running it 100 years and taking care of the business in every way possible and was not contemplating sale, but for one reason or another, finally needs to monetize the company. We will not get any sensible buys really from the resellers. It's amazing to me what's going on. Some of these things, literally, Fund A is selling to Fund B, to Fund C. I mean, I've seen some that changed hands 3 or 4 times. They're just marking them up, and everybody's getting they're getting 20% of the profits as they mark it up. And probably Fund C or Fund D, it may be owned by the same pension funds that own Fund A, except that everybody's just taking a big 20% slice out of it every time they move it from one place to another. We're not buyers of anything the financial buyers have been in and currently own.